Hello guys, welcome back to today's video. Before we start, again the same lines, please do like, subscribe, share among your friends, among your colleagues, among your whosoever you know. That will help us to encourage to more such content like this we are doing. So what we are going to learn today? So we are going to learn cash disk, cash journal, payment processing. So this is more of a theoretical, less practical, but it will give you more of idea how the payment processing is configured, payment process is, what is cash disk, how the cash journals are processed, what is its process, what is its workflow, etc., etc., etc. So yes, let's start today's lecture. Let's start. Thank you.
Now, desk or cash journals are the places where actually the collection happen physically. That means there are some persons who are available manually there who maintain the details like the historical data, the lot display, so who all are need to pay, okay, the special functions, like they need to check what are the open and close items. They also open and close the cash desk because that is a standard practice in all the cash desks. You have to open the cash desk to collect the money. And once the money collected and the day ends, you need to close that. That's kind of a reconciling at the end of the day. And after that, you need to save the data. So the data need to be saved into a particular structure. So that is the basics. So the structure, the role of that person, the cash desk who is collecting the money, those are basic stuff. And once that is allocated, then they will provided some special functions like to open the cash desk and close the cash desk, open the branch and close the branch of the cash desk, because under a single branch there may be multiple cash desks, and that would be responsible for a single person or some authorized multiple persons. Then we need to get the environment where we can see the historical data, lot display. And finally, the functions. What are the functions a person who is at the cash desk can do? They can call the cash desk, check the current cash balance, collect the cash and deposit, compare the cash desk details, like if there are multiple cash desks, and fully or partially withdraw from the cash desk to transfer to other systems or centralized system. Now let's consider double level cash desk hierarchy, where you have the branch office. Below branch office, you have n number of cash desks, cash desk 1 to cash desk number n, and each of the cash desks need to be linked to the company code, bank clearing account, and the lot payment category. Now, this bank clearing, where we are putting the money, that is utilities bank, okay, and the lot payment category, which kind of payments they can receive. Now, a cash desk can receive any kind of payment, whether it's a check, cash, or any demand draft, or any kind of payment it can receive by card or by any credit or debit card. So the cash desk should be like that. So because each of these type of payment linked to different payment lots, payment categories, that also need to be linked to the cash desk. So that is the basic need of a cash desk. And parallelly, all the cash desks should able to collect the money. That's another one requirement. Now, if we move to the role and concept of the specific cash desk, so we can see there are three different kind of roles. So like you may have a branch office manager, a cashier, or a special cashier with a special task. Now, cashier is the front-end person who collect the money. Okay, so for him, the foremost requirement we call the cash desk means he can open the cash desk. When if he has a system, he can open the cash desk and he can close the cash desk. So he can call that screen, that cash desk operations. Okay, so that's first. But as he can collect the cash and deposit, but he cannot open and close. Now, opening and closing of the cash desk is like, let's say, higher authority role, where a cashier special task or a branch manager can do that. So at the morning, once the branch manager come into the office, he'll open the cash desk at 9:30. That means the cash desk is open for collecting or calling for the cash. Okay, so that means the reconcile part need to be done by the branch manager. So that's how he has a different role. He can open and close the cash desk. Withdrawal of the money, cashier cannot do that. Special task officer who can collect the money, put into into the bank account or transfer to any centralized account, then he can able to do that. And the branch manager as well. Deposit, yes, everybody can do the deposit. Now, the cash disk enhancement also can be done individual level, and we link that to the cash. Like cash disk and cash journal, almost same thing. Okay, cash disk is like a physical stuff. Cash journal is like a book entry. So you consider them both are same, but when we are putting this cash disk enhancement, we are using these below events: event 6120, 6130, and 6140. So all these events are the specific operations. Like 6120 is responsible for barcode reading. Now, if somebody is coming to the desk and he has the invoice, and on the invoice we have a barcode, and you have a barcode reader, you just scan that and the payment can be possible. So that's the faster way to collect the money. So we have a T code called FQ events. Okay. In FQ events, you can see all the events are there, like numbers are mentioned, 40, 41. Now, like we are looking for the contract account events. Okay. So now you can go to those stuff where you can see the cash disk events. Okay. Let me check anything related to cash disk. So you can see there is a search for cash disk. Now you can see there are events 6005 cash disk, cash journal event, 6015 for cash disk ready input, 204 input help selection. So these are called events. If you click on these events, okay, they'll give you a program name, okay, structure name, and with the parameters. And if you click here, it will show you a program name, FKK sample 6020. So each event is different. These events are useful to enhance, like if you know the event number, all the details, you can use this event to enhance your operations, or use these events at the workflow level to take the decisions or actions. Okay. So here, there are some events like 6120, like 6120, I didn't show you, right? 6120. No, it's not there. Yeah, journal. Yes. 6120, you can see that prepare the addition function. 6130, account determination, all these events are there. Okay, account determination to posting the amounts. Now these events are responsible to collect the money. Now first event, which is 6120, is useful to scan the barcode. So barcode is everywhere these days. Now to read the barcode, we need to call that event, and under that event we have multiple options of barcode. Now barcode has a different standard. What of the standard that organization is using for the barcode, this event we read that and able to collect the cash. Similarly, 6130 to determine the posting areas, okay, and post that, because with posting area we define the general ledger. Similarly, to close the cash test, we are calling 6140. Cash test open, okay. What are the header data we are looking for? So these are the header data. We are looking to get the information about the business partner, about the contract account, contract, because these are the business data. Now, why we need all these three information at the cash test level? Because business partner, we know who is the correspondence. Contract account, we know the company code, the dunning process, the details, the clearing conditions, clearing details, contract account information ID. So that's how we need business partner, contract account, and contract as the header. Anyone would be okay because all three are integrated. Then we need a document number. From the document number, we know the open items and the net due date. Due date we get from the document number. And once we get all this stuff, if it's coming for the paying, he may use a payment form. If he don't have the payment form, that same document number can be used as the payment form to pay the amount. So these are the header data. Okay. Now, once somebody go there, if you go to pay your electric bill, what you will ask? What is your consumer number? That is your business partner number. Okay. So once you give the consumer number, he'll ask how much you need to pay. So you see in your bill, it is 230. Okay, 230 rupees you need to pay. By which date? It's within date or not? Yes, it is within date. So near due date he finds. So for which month document? That is your document number. Okay, it's for the month of January. So they get everything. Once they get everything, then the payment will happen. The payment may happen by cash, by card, by credit card, debit card, MasterCard, or by demand. DDs, demand draft. Demand draft is almost equal to the cash. So once you pay that at the cash desk, then they generate a receipt and give to you. So they just check the deposit list, whether you are a valid person or not, all this valid or not, and they generate a receipt and give to you. Then the process starts against the contract account. They need to post directly because if everything is clear, it will go directly. And it's for the cash desk. If somebody paid by online, okay, or somebody paid account posting, okay, means transferring auto debit or credit, it will also go to the same contract account. All right. Now, if somebody is not able to pay, then the new processes are introduced into the system, like installment plan. Okay, or somebody is paying installation plan, then it will go to the clearing proposals. It check whether the amount that particular contract account holds some plans or not. Yes, it is holding. Then it will post the parcel amount. Okay, whatever the installation plan, you can see here that there is the installation plan for every month. Client need to pay 100, 100, 100. So it is getting paid, and automatically clearing proposal come into picture. And so in this example, there is already an installation plan for the person, and he has to pay 100 every month. So he has to pay 100 with whatever the invoice amount is done, that is 50. And so 50, it's partially clear kind of stuff out of his 100. So 100 minus 250, it becomes 149 something. It's showing, yeah. And all this amount is like for the months of 8 and 9. Okay, so final amount is coming something, and that need to be posted. So after the clearing proposal, it cleared 100 and 50, what is paid here, and the rest of the amount is go to a invoice, which again go as a arrear or a correspondence to the customer. Okay, if there is an installation plan activated, so we always check the installation amount first, and against that will clear. The cash desk need to be open daily, and once all the postings happen, it needs to close. Okay, so you can see when the cash desk is closed, the system compare the actual and the target balance in the cash desk. So how it will know actual and target? Target is whatever the open items you have. That is the target amount, how much you need to collect. So let it be that you have 1,000 invoices. In invoice has 1,000 rupees to collect. So around 1 lakh rupees you need to collect. That is your targeted amount. But how much you collected, that you need to post. Okay. And finally, you put a difference, how much difference on those amounts. Somebody paid partially, somebody paid less than 5 rupees or something. So all you collected and you generate a difference amount. Okay. And if as the cash disk is like you can collect the cash as well, we need to create a list how many currencies you are collect. Currencies means how many 100 rupees, how many 500 rupees, how much coin you collected. So that you need to maintain into a sheet, unit sheet record. That's the role when we are closing the cash desk. So the first stuff is that we need to open the cash desk regularly, whether we are collecting any money or not. Still, we open the cash desk and we close the cash desk. Now, when we open the cash desk, we have some open items, some invoices. Against that, we need to collect, and whatever the amount we collect against the open items, we compare that. If there is any differences against the open item and the collected amount, then we put them into a list. Apart from that, before closing of the cash desk, we submit one report, which we call the currency unit sheet. Currency unit sheet is a kind of a Excel sheet or kind of a report which holds how many currencies you collect on that day, how many 100 rupees, 500 rupees, how many coins you collect, and you put them into that list. So it will create a transparency, and when there will be transfer happen, it will give a quick calculation detail, and then we save all the details and close the process. So each day we open and we close, and that for every day the posting will happen, irrespective of whether irrespective of any conditions. If you have 5 working days, you need to open and close, whether you collect or not collect. That's a rule. Even if you are not closing the cash desk, is get automatically closed when the day will be end. Okay. And if you let it be, you collected some money from somewhere, and but you didn't post that on the cash desk. Okay. So in that case, you need to reopen for that day and then only post. So that's how you can see the banking people, particularly if somebody is saying that, okay, take some money from me and pay at your cash desk or at bank, you still come and pay by your own. Otherwise, if I'll go to the bank, I'll go after 1 day or 2 days, your money get delayed. So similarly, because of the cash desk rules, it will close automatically at the end of the day. Cashier, for a cashier, it's like his religion to close the cash desk before he's leaving the desk. Otherwise, what will happen? That's very dangerous. Somebody else will put some random numbers which is paid, and then at the end of the day, when the differences journal come, so it will be coming like the total amount coming is 5,000, but the total cash is available 4,000. Then he has to pay from his pocket. So you understand how risky it is to keep the cash desk open. Okay. So now your question is, each cash desk and cash journals are same? The answer is yes, it is some kind of, because cash journal is nothing, it's just a report and with details, whereas cash desk is a physical entity with an agent. Okay, now without agent, you can't entry the journals, but these days there are automatic entries are available for the journals. The journals are reports, you can say, and desk is the combination of the agent and reports. Okay. So now, as you mentioned, when we collect all this stuff, we need to do the payment into the system, and that is the payment process. And for payment process, we have programs. Okay, and those programs will execute to push those amount whatever we collect into the system, right? And that generates the payment documents. Okay, so the business partner contract account and contract all objects we may get from the document. Then based on the customization, we do the controlling, clearing of the control, and the clarification stuff. And once the payment run, we execute it with the parameters, whatever the header parameters we have, then we can finally generate the document. Now, before posting also, you can do the simulation that is called test run. And if you do the actual one, you will go to the payment run. And if there are any exceptions generated, like some data is missing, some amount is not posting, so then you create a exception list as well for that. Okay. Once you do the test run or payment run, to see all the details, you can have a view payment list where you can see how much money is coming against which line item. And based on your clarification list, it will clear one by one. And if not cleared, you need to clear them manually. And finally, your process will be completed. Now, if you want to do this automatically, you need to create some rules, and you execute that at a particular time on the day or at the night, and it will do the process and generate the documents. Okay, so that's how the program executes. So that we call the payment programming process. So mostly the program, how it works, as it is mentioned as parallel runs are available for the different parameters, because when we post the amounts or when the cash desks start collecting, it is not for a single desk. There will be many cash desks. They started collecting the money, and when the process completes or we need to post them into the system, we execute, and the dispatcher. Dispatcher means it's mostly for the base system. They have multiple processing segments, and each segment will hold some of the informations and they process them. And once it will completed, it will confirm each of these details. Now, based on your dispatcher, let it be you have 10 dispatcher, so there will be maximum 10 intervals. Let it be you have 1,000 of entries at one go, and you have 10 dispatchers, so it will be divided into 100 in each interval. Okay, and both intervals get featured, and then the process will happen. Okay, so these are some programs, payment programs, which are used to execute the payment processes. Okay, so you can use these payment programs for enhancement or for automation. Okay. Now, once this payment programs are done and it posted at the bank level, so your job would be over. Okay. So now sometimes we should not do all these process manually. So we create some payment runs. Okay. Now the objective is to do these payment runs to implement these processes faster. Okay. And these payment runs should be parallel in nature. We do the process parallel by grouping the payments and payment medias, like as I show you. We can divide them into different groups, and based on our dispatcher, we divide them into intervals, and then we process. Like, what are the groups? I can give you some examples. Whatever the cash payment are collected, whatever the payments collected by cash, we can process them in one group. What are the payments collected by cash, we can process them in another group. Like that, we can divide them into groups. Based on the medium. Possible grouping field like payment medium format, company code, and bank, house bank, and accounts, debit, credit memos. All we can also divide them into groups, like bank, how we divide into banking groups. So whatever the payments are received from a particular bank, let it be ICICI Bank, or we can group them together, or SBI, we can group them together. And based on the possible different grouping by fields, we again divide them into small chunks to execute the payment run. And finally, we can develop some SAP script by which we can execute this process. And structured notes. Structured notes means like we give the information to the customer that, look, you need to pay this much amount. There are automatic chaos machine, means automatic machines where the collection can happen. The cash desk will be automated there. So there we can give some instruction, only use 500 rupees to pay, or only use 100 rupees to pay. Like that, we give them instructions by which we can simplify the process, and based on these, we can automate this stuff. So that's how the flexibility of the structure we can do by giving notes to the pay. So finally, what is the note? Note to pay or content hint. So note to pay means we are giving some response at the receipt level. Okay, let it be somebody paid the amount correctly. So at the end, cleared. Okay, and somebody is paid partially. We can mention partially paid. Like that, we can put some note to pay related to the content, what we are exactly doing, and based on their language. Now you can see here the payment method, category of use, structure of the note to pay. So here you can see there is language notifications 1, line number 01. We put some note like contract and pay number, something. So from here we can understand particularly this payment is coming partially, or this payment is clear, this payment is for this contract account, like that. So put a note. Note is give a definition by which you can understand what exactly done are the process execution. Now you can see the configuration for the payment, incoming, outgoing payment creation, and we have all these configuration. Okay.